everyone, good afternoon. Welcome back to Cooking More with Less. My name is Celina Cordoba, and I just wanted to turn on my camera today and welcome everyone back and thank everyone for their great comments. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me that all these little tidbits are starting to make sense, and hopefully they're enriching our kitchens and, more importantly, our lives. To not sound cheesy, but seriously, because food is such an indication of one's soul and how happy it is. So right now I'm starving and I wanted to make something kind of quick and simple, and we're going to use some stuff that's been in the kitchen for a minute. So I have a stock of asparagus. Asparagus is so underrated. It's such a great vegetable, really high in folic acid and vitamin C and all those things that we know. But it's also, you know how when you eat a lot of asparagus, or just even a couple stalks, like 3 or 4 stalks, you'll use the bathroom and urinate, and you'll smell that like kind of acidic, weird odor. Well, asparagus is amazing for removing toxins from one's body, and it's also really good for your kidneys. So like if you have kidney stones or any type of issues with like I would say what's that thing when you have urinary tract infections, very good for UTIs. So incorporate more asparagus in your life. It's also something that a lot of people kind of sleep on in terms of the medicinal properties. So I kind of keep it like this. We're going to cut the bottoms of the stalks off, rinse them off, throw them in the pan with some garlic and some mushrooms, and add that to our quinoa. Real simple. We have a gourmet blend today of mushrooms. You can get these at your local store. You don't have to be any place, you know, real expensive or amazing. But these are just baby bellas, shiitake, oyster mushrooms, mushrooms and asparagus. It's a great combination with a little bit of garlic, a little bit of onion, olive oil, salt, pepper, real simple. So we're going to do that real quick. Like I said, cut off the bottoms of your stalks. You don't want to kill the asparagus by overcooking it in your pan. I rinsed these off already, but we're going to rinse them off again. And you want to leave the asparagus, try to leave it a little open in your fridge so that the tips don't get wilted if you leave them there for like, 2 or 3 days. That sometimes happens and it's annoying. So we're going to cut these off. Once we have these cut, we're going to go ahead and add, really simple, we're going to add some onion and some garlic into the pan and make it happen. And these are quick ways that you can keep things healthy and light. I have a piece of, I do have 2 pieces of orange roughy defrosting. It's actually defrosted, but because I haven't picked up a lemon yet, I got to make this with some lemon and some capers. So we're going to do that later, but we're going to make my lunch now. It's about 3:30, and I like eating a little something before 6, 7 o'clock. So our pan is warming up. We're going to throw some olive oil in there. And just layer your pan with about a little less than 1/4. Say maybe like 3 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to go ahead and use the rest of some quinoa that I had left over overnight. And also make this with some short grain brown rice. These are 2 great brands. You can get Lundenberg's. They're in your regular grocery store now. Short grain, you can get some wild rice as well, but I didn't make this as yet, and I'm going to make it later. But you can use quinoa, couscous, whatever grain you like. I actually try using more quinoa just because it's a little higher in protein than just the semolina, the couscous. So now that our olive oil is warmed, I'm going to go ahead and add the cut garlic and the onion. I'm going to saute that around. And just make sure you caramelize the onions just a little bit for like 2 or 3 minutes. So yeah, the whole aspect is using things that we have in our kitchen. And oftentimes we get vegetables and they go to waste because we don't cook them right away. So if you get the basics, like right now I have broccoli in there and some baby Brussels sprouts. We're going to go ahead and roast these later on, and just use all the vegetables that you buy during the week so things don't go to waste. I'm going to go ahead and throw our stalks of asparagus. And make sure you don't have your temperature too high. You want it on like a low medium instead of a medium high. And just saute the asparagus and all the ingredients on the bottom so each stalk gets nicely coated with some olive oil. I'm going to go ahead and add our salt. If you have Himalayan pink salt, really nice. But you can use a regular iodized, a regular natural sea salt. Some pepper. You can add some cayenne as well if you like. Cayenne is a lot higher in vitamin C, which is also a great tonic to make if you're feeling a little sick, which I was this week. Totally knocked it out. Brew a whole pot of ginger. Take the ginger and muddle it with a hammer, bang it up to just open up the ginger pieces, throw it in some boiling water for about an hour, leave it on a low for like at least 45 minutes, and then just make yourself a cup of tea with a little bit of maple syrup, a dash of apple cider vinegar, which is a little rank, but it's really, really good for you if you're feeling sick. Draws out all the impurities right away. And I drank that. Feel a lot better. It's your body's way of definitely telling you need rest. So we're just sauteing everything. And this is just salt and pepper. But some vegetables need so little doctoring. I'm going to add some turmeric to this just for some anti-inflammatory properties. Plus it'll give our mushrooms a nice golden brown, which we're about to add. Just rinse these off. If you have a colander or a little bowl, rinse it. You can go ahead and paper towel these, just pack them dry so all the moisture doesn't get into the vegetables that you're cooking. You want natural moisture to infuse it rather than wetting them. I like my stuff a little bit more on the dry side. So now that these are rinsed, this is really simple. This is under 4 grams of fat, really, really high in protein, as well as all your necessary ingredients. Your folic acid, your vitamin C, and then the mushrooms are going to give it such a nice flavor. Really just bring out the asparagus. That's how it's starting to look. Really simple. Vegetables are so underrated, especially on really nice bed of rice. If you season your rice really nicely, it tastes really moist and good. And I think that's the thing that's left on with vegetables. They're not cooked with the right ingredients to really just allow them to sing, you know? So I'm just going to go ahead and leave this on like a low, medium flame just to get a little bit more cooked. sink into all that goodness, we're gonna add our turmeric like we talked about. Just a little sprinkle on top. And I know this is taking it up a notch, but I'm gonna add a dash of hot pepper sesame oil. I didn't add too much black pepper, and this is just, I really like sesame oil with my mushrooms. So it's gonna be a little bit of a flavor profile and kind of bring out everything, because you don't have too much of anything heavy in this. It's a really, really nice ingredient. It's just hot sesame oil and like red hot chili. So it'll add a nice spice to it. I'm gonna go ahead and cover this and let it just melt down a little bit for about 3 minutes, and then we're gonna be done. I'm gonna add our quinoa on top, and you have a really beautiful lunch. Again, cooking more with less, cooking more great ingredients with less drama, with less toxins, and with less gluten and dairy, and all those things that take our bodies so long to process, even if you don't feel like it does. When you eat like bagels every day, it ends up becoming gassy in your stomach, and you have a lot of intestinal issues, and you'll have a lot of breaking out. Like a lot of people sometimes think that their skin is broken out because they're eating fried foods, when it's really just a culmination of an excess of something. I do like a little spice, but because it's getting cooler, I'm adding more stuff like chili powder and just different warming elements to my food so that my blood can stay really warm and healthy and good. So as I'm talking, this is doing the job. I'm going to show you the difference that 2 minutes makes. Just leaving it alone, all the mushrooms are now cooked down and have soaked into the goodness. I can smell a little bit of the sesame oil. So beautiful. Asparagus and a variety of mushrooms. So simple yet so good. Delicioso. I just tasted to make sure I have enough salt. Sometimes people don't put enough. Sprinkle enough salt to your liking. Not too much, but enough. We're pretty much done here. I'm gonna show you. Okay, so we're back. This is how it looks. We're done. Asparagus, quinoa. I do want to tell you a little secret that I just did. Basically, when I was marinating the quinoa in the pan, it was a little bit on the dry side. So I took my tea kettle, which has the infused garlic that I made that, not garlic, but ginger, that I made that ginger brew with, and I put about a tablespoon in the pan, so that when everything was marinating, it was included, you know, a little ginger flavor on top. So this is it. It's so simple. It looks so light, but it's still yet very filling. And then tonight, or a couple hours later, if you want to add a little piece of fish to this, you can, and you'll have an even more complete meal. So, cooking more with less. Thank you guys. I'm about to eat. I'm so hungry. I'll see you soon.